So first off, state your name.
Wait, where am I supposed to be looking? Like into the camera? My name is Keana Montengro. My fighter name is Cub, and I am an amateur MMA fighter. My mom put me in Taekwondo when I was 7 years old because I was a really just like hypersensitive child, and she kind of needed me to toughen up a bit. So I got thrown into Taekwondo when I was 7, but here we are now. What I love most about MMA is I guess stepping into the unknown about everything, that nothing's guaranteed and that everything is so just, you don't know what could happen unless you try. All right, I train out of Carlson Gracie in Riverside, and I love everything about this gym. It's such like a family environment. Everybody, like, we don't feel like just a team. It definitely feels like a family established here. I feel very comfortable here, especially being a woman in a male-dominant sport. The role my mom has played in my MMA career, kicking off into a career, I like to call her my momager. She definitely has played a huge role in the sport for me. She definitely is my backbone for all of it. She gets close to my coaches as far as like just like communication with them to know like how I'm doing in practice and all that. She comes and sits in and watches my training sometimes. In camp, she's extremely supportive at home, and it makes it so much better to just know that like, hey, I'm not in this alone, you know? And I have amazing both friends, families, coaches, teammates, everyone that's behind me, so I'm super thankful for that. Yeah, so the meaning behind Cub is there's kind of a lot behind it. So my mom is really like infatuated with lions, so my house, the decorations, like there's lions everywhere, kind of like a jungle. And then she always called me her little cub, because ever since I was little, I loved to play fight and wrestle and just like pounce like a cub, you know? So she always called me her little cub. And then my dad and my sister are both Leos, and I'm also like the baby of the family, the youngest. So they always talk about like, obviously Leos are lions and whatnot, and I'm just the little cub. As hard as it is, I definitely think MMA in my personal life is just kind of made me a better person all around, you know? It puts things in perspective that everything that seems hard can be done, you know? We go through hell in here sometimes and it's hard, but then when in my personal life, whenever I'm going through something, whether it's like physically or emotionally, I'm just like, hey, I do one of the hardest sports out there, I can handle this. So as much as like an aggressive, mean fighter I try to be, I'm a big softie, and so I love that during the day I get to embrace my soft side and be kind with the kids and focus on everything gentle and just like what it means to love and be a teacher and what kids should be, you know. Patience is so important with training, because in this sport we obviously ask a lot of ourselves and of our bodies, and sometimes you could pick up a certain move a little easier than another. So you definitely have to trust the journey and know that eventually it'll all come into place, but it's definitely not an overnight thing. So to be an MMA fighter, to me, I think it means to be disciplined. You could be a motivated person, but if you're not disciplined enough for the sport, this is not the sport for you. Just be willing to do a lot of self-work, you know? It definitely, as we said in previous questions, it kind of forms who you are. I definitely pray before every fight, and I've definitely learned as I got older, do not pray for victory. I just pray for a safe outcome. I pray that no matter the outcome, I understand why. My biggest thing for fighting is I want to inspire younger girls to not be afraid and take that first step, but honestly, for whoever it applies to, don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Believe in yourself and that you have the right to be there just as much as anyone else does. All right, guys, this has been Keana Cub Montengro, and thank you for listening. Take care.